Y'all, are you tired of those zippers on every other soft-sided cooler that are so hard to zip and unzip? And then you gotta lube them, and then if you don't lube them, you break the zipper and the cooler is useless. Well, Yeti's fixed all of that, and this is their second generation of the hopper, and they've fixed the previous problems. Today, we're gonna talk about it, and I think you're gonna like it just as much as I do. Years ago, Yeti had made the magnetic hopper where the closure is magnetic, but they were having some problems with them. The magnets were coming through the fabric, the top wouldn't hold itself open, and it was just a really hard cooler to use, and I never bought one because I didn't like those problems with it. Now this Yeti here has fixed all of that. Like I said before, if you've ever used an Arctic or any other quality soft cooler, you know they're great, they're convenient, they're easy to tote around, easy to get in and out of the back seat of your truck or your car. But the zippers are such a pain in the butt. Well, let me show you this thing. So this is the M30. This is a big cooler, now I'll tell you that. And I really like this color. You'll see if you go look at the website, you can see this is one of their seasonal colors, and they have quite a few to choose from on the Yeti website. But as I was saying, they have really fixed the issues they had before. One of their problems was it wouldn't stay open to load. Well, now it does. This magnetic seal on the top is great. Easy to close, and generally what you're gonna do is when you're sitting by the fire or next to your camper or outside by the pool, you're just gonna use this magnetic close, open and close it. But when you do wanna transport it, you go ahead and latch these latches on top, and they are a little tight, which is good because it will seal it up. And now you've got a really good seal on this thing. Now, like I said, you're only gonna wanna latch it when you're actually moving it around, but if you're just sitting around, just leave it up and this thing seals up great. In fact, we're gonna conduct a little test right now to see just how good it does seal. And this is the first time I've conducted this test, so I'm kind of curious how it goes. What I've got here is about 2 gallons of water. We're gonna pour it in this thing. We're gonna first latch it up, turn it over and see if it leaks. Then we're gonna unlatch it and see if just the magnet can hold the water. It is really nice having this top stay open. You can see I didn't have to touch it. But so let me show you. I did indeed put the water in there. Now, let's go ahead and close it. Now, I am 100% confident that this thing will hold liquid. And it does. No drips. Now, I'm not quite as confident in just the magnetic seal. I think I might get wet here, but let's check it out. All right, guys. Now, just to prove that there is indeed water in here, the magnetic seal does absolutely hold liquid, 100%. In fact, let me go ahead and empty this thing out now. Now, as far as ice retention goes on a product like this, it's not gonna be super important. This is not something you're gonna take out camping with you and wanna hold ice for a week. This is something you take on a weekend camping trip. In fact, my wife and I did last week. We brought it out. I actually put our beers in there, put ice in there, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday morning, it still had ice in it. Everything was still cold, and that's opening it up and using it like you would just a drink cooler. Now, I'm gonna tell you, this bag is built extremely well. This side, I mean, the shoulder holster on this thing is really comfortable. And that's another reason you want to have a soft cooler. It's so much easier than toting around the hard cooler when you're not going for long trips. But this is made of an extremely durable fabric. It's got the loops where you can attach different accessories if you want to clip water bottles to it or whatever. They do make a little bag that'll hook to the front so you can store your items in it. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go get some beer that we're going to use for the weekend, and I'm going to put some ice in it, and I'm going to show you how much this thing really does hold. I'm going to go ahead and load this thing up. What I've got here is I've got a full 12-pack of Coors Light. Now I got 6 more in this one, half a 12-pack. And I got my wife's Cayman Jacks. Now it is suggested to pre-cool any cooler you got. So what I'm gonna do, in fact, hers are hot. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and ice these things down. Then I'm gonna load up the truck for camping. And before I leave, I'll dump the water and add more ice to it. But you can see this top really does hold itself open. Now I've got one heaping bucket of ice, 5 gallons. And I don't think it's gonna quite take it all. So 18 Coors Lights, and I think about 8 of the Cayman Jacks, and roughly 2/3 of a bucket of ice. Let me take you guys off of here and look inside. We got good coverage over the beer, you can see, but it is in there. I'm not fuggable you. And it's packed really well. Now, when it is full like this, it can be a little hard to close. Like I said, these straps are tight, but they're tight on purpose to really seal everything in there, and they don't adjust. They are made to hold this top down tight. Once it's full, you got a couple of ways to carry it. Whew, sucker's heavy. That is one thing I will say about this M30. I bought it online and I wasn't looking at it. It's actually much bigger than I thought it would be, which is good because it's good for a weekend. Now for a day trip, I would probably go for the M20, the smaller one. And they also make the backpack with the magnetic top. Now I've got a friend of mine that's got it, and his only complaint is that it's quite narrow and deep. So he's got to really do a lot of digging to get into it. Where this one, I find it to be much easier to get access to stuff on the inside, to get in and out of it. But you can see as full as it is, the shoulder strap's gonna make it really easy to carry. Like I said, it's got the 2 handles on the front. It's got the shoulder strap. It's got another handle on the back if you just want to carry it one-handed. And it also has the rings on the back as well. It's got a handle on each side so you can pick it up like this and control it really well instead of trying to use this. But man, this thing is really rugged. Now, of course, it's made by Yeti, so we know it's ridiculous expensive. Now, this thing's coming in at $350. So for the price you'll pay for this thing, you can truly go get a hard-sided Yeti cooler. But the convenience of being able to throw this thing in the back of the truck, you don't have to worry about scratching up your door panels and having that hard bottom on your leather seat. This is just really nice. I really like it. I think it's a good product. Is it worth the price? The big question. That's up to you. This thing was $350. I actually had got a little award at work, so I was able to purchase it with some Cabela's gift cards that I got from work. So I did buy this one from Cabela's. Now, Cabela's will not have all the colors that Yeti has on their site, but they are the same price wherever you buy them. But I do like it. I do recommend it, certainly. The fact that the magnetic top has been tweaked to where it will stay open and these magnets are going to stay where they're supposed to stay, it just makes not having to deal with one of those really hard Arctic or any of them, the zippers, I think it's fantastic. Magnets don't wear out. Zippers do. Zipper wears out, you got to throw your bag away. These magnets aren't going anywhere. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. I've always got some reviews on something. I'm sure there's something I'll do that you'll like. Until next time, I'll see y'all on Everyday Man.